Okay, quick fun one today. I'm just going to do as many different calisthenics, handstand, strength type movements I can do on the box. Some will be really good constructive drills for you to do with your press handstand, for your balance, for your jump to handstand, for your handstand push-ups. And some will just be fun challenges. My battery's getting low, so I'm just going to do as many as I can until the battery goes. So let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or have any other ideas. I'm just going to play it up. I'm going to go through what's going through my head as I do it. So let's see what happens. So first of all, I'm just going to start with some easier positions. So I have warmed my wrists up, but that's it. I'm just going to go through some protraction slides. So sliding up in from a protracted position up on the box. So sliding up, coming back down again. Now if that feels okay, I can obviously flip it over and go into a higher height. So have to slide up further, back down again. If you can't do that one, you could step into it. Hold there. Just make sure you're trying to push the box into the floor so you stay into that protracted position. Same thing if I do it this way. If you've got the flexibility, see if you can get your toes all the way up and to step onto the box. You could just do the eccentric only as well. So step up on top of the box, eccentric only, you could start here, try and hold this position, slide down. We have our normal shoulder stand position, so one of my favourite ones. So into this position on the box, take your collarbone to the box, make your knees close to your chest, so it's a bit like the crow position. You're making a tight position when you're just going to use that seesaw. So I'm going to take the shoulder towards the floor, hips are going to go up in the air. At the point of balance, my knees come off. If I'm comfortable there, I can extend. So think when you're extending that you're going up in that direction to you stay in a balanced position. I don't go down or away too much. So I open up into that shoulder stand position, I can come down again. From that I could go through to a straddle L position, so you can practice your straddle L on the box. So hands on the edge, can go to this position. Easier from a flexibility compression point of view because I've got knees bent, opening up. To make it harder, I could go this way around on the box. Now this makes it a little bit easier to do that transition from that shoulder stand. So I could start in the straddle L sit, through to that shoulder stand, or the easier version would be to go from shoulder stand through to L sit. You have the safety of the box if you fall onto it. Okay, press drills we could use the box to come off of. A nice one for tuck is go nice and high with the box. This is a bit scary. You can do it up against the wall so you can got the back close to the wall, or you can have someone spot you here. I'm going to go into my tuck position. I'm going to have my knees on the box. I'm going to walk the hands in nice and close. Now I'm going to walk the knees in so I get to the point where I feel that I could lift up into handstand, come back down again. So it's sort of like a pressy, deep tuck position, open and close and having a target. That one's actually much harder than it looks, unless you're very comfortable in that tuck planche, deep tuck position. One way to make that one easier would be to extend one leg at a time. We could do a press drill where we're using the height of the box. Now obviously I can change the height depending on my ability, so lower would be harder. Ideally you'd have two boxes if you're doing straddle, so you can go a bit more wider with the feet, but I'm going to show with one box. I'm going to walk the feet in till I feel that I could get lift off. And I could come up to there. I could do an eccentric. I could come down, touch the box, and then if I can, get back up again. I could do that single leg, so I could step on and off the box. Just remember when you do that one that you have the box there. So if you do fall down fast, you might hit the box, so just be careful of that. A nice one for beginners is just to do a walk-in, so get you ready for doing it up against the wall. So I'm going to slowly walk in, I'm going to take the hips higher. Again, there is a flexibility demand here. I could lift the leg up, get used to that position, to walk back out again. Handstand push-up drills, I could do the pike handstand push-up with elevated feet up on the box. Now this is pretty close to the strength it takes to do a full handstand push-up. I actually probably find these harder than a full handstand push-up. My balance is so good in the handstand push-up that I can stay in more of an efficient position. This makes it a little bit less efficient for me, but obviously everyone's going to be slightly different. But I could go into that open shoulder position on the box, come down, touch, come back up, and back again. Opening the shoulders at the top. Now to progress the handstand push-ups even further, we could do an eccentric on the box. So I'm going to lower down. I could have my feet against the wall and lower down to that eccentric position. So kicking up, make sure you've got a nice strong position. As you come down, shoulders come forwards, arms bend, elbows come in, toes back, eccentric hold, come back out. So again, having that shoulder stand position as your home position and be able to come in and out of it on both directions is really important to do reps of your eccentric handstand push-up. I'm going to try and get my breath back enough to do a full rep just so you can see it. You could start at the bottom and go up, or I could start at the top, go down, touch, come back up again. Let's see if we can get one of those now. This is like cardio. So open shoulder position, come down, touch, push back out. I'm just going to do the 1 rep today. So there we go. That would be the full rep. A good one to help you get your jumps is to do something elevated. So have your hands up on something and we jump as high as we can. So I'm pushing the box into the floor. That can help you get your jump to handstand. So if I'm here and I'm struggling to get up, if I train from a deficit, make it harder to jump all the way, when I go to the floor, it's going to make it much easier. Once you have it and you can jump up onto the box, I could have a challenge and try and get up and hold, flip the box over to a harder position, flip the box, try and go on that height, come back down. With control, of course, you can do that tuck, straddle, or pike. And then up to the highest position, same thing. Now with this one, I'm probably going to use bent arms a little bit to get up because I'm getting tired. And you will need, the higher you go, you will need to use bent arms to control the movement to get up and down. Really good if you've got higher canes and you want to get used to them. It's a bit more comfortable, you can move your hands around on a box. On canes, you have basically one place to place your hands. It's a bit scarier for some people, so doing it up on a box can help. Okay, if you're training towards Stalder Press, so similar to going into that straddle L-sit position, I'm going to go from now the start of the press position, so where we need to transition from this point through to my straddle L. I could do it elevated, makes it a little bit easier because I can have my feet down on that position and scoop down. If that feels okay or comfortable to handstand on the box, I could press up or kick up to handstand, whichever you want to do or can do. So I press up, show control, come back down through that eccentric Stalder press. Now Stalder presses in general, especially if you're a little bit stronger, are easier on something that's elevated because you can take your feet slightly below your hands, which takes away some of that compression demand and flexibility. So again, I'm out of breath. I'm going to try and get a Stalder press off the box. I'll try and make it as clean as I can. Now I can do one off the floor. My hip mobility compression is not great, so my toes still touch the floor when I'm on the floor, but I should be able to get up comfortably off the box. But I generally need a little bit more strength when I do box repetitions. So let's see. So I'll just start in the straddle L and go up from there. So straddle L. And then if you're up, obviously work the eccentric. Back down. Crocs, elbow levers, peacock positions are all easier if you can have your feet below your hands. So going into a single arm croc, hand turned out, my fingers are pointing in this direction. I'm going to bring the elbow towards my midline. I'm going to take the other hand out for balance. I'm going to lift the feet up to a point, but they'll be down lower than my hand. And then I'm going to slowly extend everything. So it's much easier to get into the position having the feet lower than the hand. So here, extend, lift the shoulders, chest, make body one segment, Go up to fingertip if you feel balanced. Lift the hand if you can. Come back down. Peacock, exactly the same. Hands out to the side, so it's easier to get the elbows to the midline. I could drop the hip below, or drop the legs below. The hands to make it a little bit easier to get into the position. And then from there, I can open out. So that's presses, handstand push-ups, jumps, shoulder stands, straddle L-sits, planche slides, elbow levers, peacocks, can't remember if I said those. So that's quite a few for lots of different abilities. And remember, if you have a box like this, you can use it for your stretching. So I would do my stretching for my hip flexors, not my hip flexors, sorry, my glutes. So I go into my elevated pigeon. I would do hamstring stretching, really good to get head to toe in that position. Your shoulder stretch for opening your thoracic mobility. You could hold on to something ideally when you do your thoracic, so you would go into that position. You could hold on to something here and take the back or the butt down as I hold on to something and come back up and down for repetition. So I could flip over and go into lat tri stretch. So to that stretch, I could go into the normal shoulder stretch. So tail tucked under, toes pushed into the floor, coming down into that position. I reckon I'm going to finish there. I actually lasted less than the battery lasted. It's now flashing red, so it's about to go in a second. So normal deal, thumbs up and subscribe, we appreciate it. Let me know if you like this type of video.